And it's all eyes on Sri Lanka, where early results indicate a win for Anura Kumara Dissanayake. Official results of the landmark presidential elections are expected to be announced later today. Well, early trends show Dissanayake leading with 52% of the vote. Sajith Premadasa has just over 23% and Ranil Wickremesinghe is in the third position with 17.6%. Votes have so far been counted for 11 out of 160 polling divisions. So these are early trends that we are bringing to you right now. Counting is currently underway amid tight security. The Election Commission has been praised for holding what many observers described as the most peaceful presidential polls in Sri Lanka. The big focus remains the three anticipated preferential contestants: Sri Lankan President Ranil Wickremesinghe, the main opposition leader Sajith Premadasa, and Marxist-leaning challenger Anura Kumara Dissanayake. The election is widely seen as a referendum on Rajapaksa's successor Ranil Wickremesinghe, who has restored some stability through austerity policies backed by the IMF. On the other hand, the measures, including tax hikes, have left millions struggling to make ends meet, and they are perhaps unpopular with many voters in Sri Lanka. And well, for more on this, our correspondent Dasuni Athoda is joining us live on the broadcast from Colombo. Hi Dasuni, early trends show that Anura Kumara Dissanayake of NPP is leading the presidential race with 52% of the votes. We are learning that the votes from 10 out of the 160 polling stations have been counted so far. Bring us the latest on the predictions and the polling situation right now.
Yes, let me start off by giving an overview of how these election results are being released for all of our viewers. So the results of this presidential election will be released in 3 tiers. The first of them being the postal votes. These are the postal voters who voted a few weeks before. After that, we get to the polling divisions, which include the votes of those postal votes. And after all such polling division results are counted for, we can then get a cumulative of those postal votes along with the polling divisions into one particular district. Now, if I am to break these 3 tiers into numbers, Sri Lanka has 22 postal votes of results that are to be released. Of those 22, we have received 21 so far. In terms of polling divisions, Sri Lanka has 160 polling divisions. And of those polling divisions, as of right now, as of 7:30 a.m., we have received 13 out of those 160 polling divisions, which is still pretty early on into these releasing of results, if I may say so, which means we haven't yet received any of the district results for the 22 districts. So that is the 3-tiered voting sort of the results that we will expect in the coming few hours and throughout the day. And yes, early trends show that Anura Kumara Dissanayake is having a sizable lead of 52%. And nearly all of the 22 postal votes have been released. We are only expecting one more, which will then conclude the postal voting results, and then results can move towards issuing the polling division results.
Right, Dasuni, you have given us a rundown of the 3 kind of votes that are there in Sri Lanka from postal division and district. Perhaps by when can we expect a final result as to who will be the next president of Sri Lanka?
Definitely towards, I would say, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. we will definitely know who will be the next president of Sri Lanka. By that time, I would be expecting at least a well over 140 polling divisions to have given their results. And by that time, we will have a fair few number of the district overall results as well, which will give us a good know about of how and who is the next president of Sri Lanka.
Right, Asuni, talking about the early trends, Dissanayake has clearly taken a lead, and he championed his campaign on eradication of poverty and corruption. He's at 52% compared to Sajith Premadasa at 23%. So gap of around 20% is what we are seeing according to the early trends that we have. Perhaps do you think that the Sri Lankans have voted for a change right now, because Wickremesinghe is clearly at the third position?
Absolutely. I want to also remind, just in the 2019 presidential election, in which Anurakumar Dissanayake also contested at that time, he only managed to get just 3% of the total vote. So this is a massive jump, which is quite significant, if I may so, over a period of 5 years of a tenure of a president. But Sri Lanka did have a unique situation where our previous president, who was elected in 2019, did not finish his entire term. He was forced to flee in 2019, after which constitutionally the parliament elected the president, and that was Ranil Wickremesinghe, who took over from Gotabaya Rajapaksa. So this is the first time that the people of Sri Lanka, after Sri Lanka's economic crisis, have headed to the polls to elect their leader. And these early trends clearly show that Sri Lanka is wanting, they're requesting for a change. They want a new political era. The leader right now, Anurakumar Dissanayake, that political party has never had a proper prominence in terms of a presidential election in the history of Sri Lanka's presidential elections. It's certainly swinging towards a new political era here in Sri Lanka.
Right, Asuni, thank you for joining us on World DNA. You have been tracking the polls very closely for us. Thank you for being here on DNA today.